All right, ladies and gents, welcome, welcome. We've got some low elo legends here. 700 elo over the past year or two, especially. I preferred to do that 700 to 800 elo range. And here we go. In the blue, we've got educortesart. Educo? No. Educortesart. Educortesart? Yeah, whatever. We have blue playing as the Franks, okay? That's all that matters. In the red, we have blue, which is much easier for me to say. And blue is playing as the Franks. The Goths. This has been a great intro. The map is Arabia. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it, but it's very vast, deserty terrain, which is quite open. So aggression is very possible here. Does that mean we're going to see aggression? I think so, but I never really know. Now, of all the civilizations that low elo players either love or fear, I think the Goths is near the top of both of those lists. There are some players who love to go for the Goths, and eventually get to a certain type of the game, just spam infantry like crazy. And then on the flip side of that, there are players who hate playing up against the Goths. It is also a civilization which I consider to be very imbalanced, because at high elos, it sucks on Arabia. It gets destroyed in the early stages because there's no real crazy eco bonuses. But the longer the game goes on, the more terrifying that civ can be. And Goths, they can kind of counter every single civilization if it gets to that stage. So there's definitely a bit of a timer situation, I would say. But what makes the Franks strong is they get more HP on their scouts and their knights. They've got a forage bonus to work with, a farm bonus. So their ability to make stable units and have good economy should put them ahead in the early stages of the Goths. So what I'd like to see from the Goths is a little bit of messiness, a little bit of aggression normally. You have to be a little extreme in some way or another. So it's either a lot of aggression early or very defensive, and you just hope you don't get attacked much. Oh, God. Okay, that rhino... that could have been troublesome there, but nice job there from red. Can you make blue be blue colored? Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll swap the colors now. Sorry for the confusion, but I didn't think about that originally. So now the Goth player will be blue because blue is in his name. And then educortesart. Yes, that's true. Maybe this guy's got like an art channel or something. But yeah, we're going to have the Frank player in the red. I think that's fitting. So far, they've had pretty smooth Dark Ages. We've got wood income. We've got berry income. We did have one rhino be brought in already from the Goth player. Actually, blue forgot to make a house. Oh boy, this is going to get really stressful. Also, Goths research loom instantly. So you should always have loom here. Thankfully, Goths do kill boars and rhinos faster, but oh god. Well, that was painful. Hey, you're not pop capped anymore, Blue. Congratulations on that. That's probably why he did it. It was all part of his plan. But he doesn't know that he's pop capped at 15 pop, so he will probably panic here in a moment. Red's probably like, this is why I make 4 houses at the start, bro. Don't need to worry about it. And I get it. All right. Still waiting to see if Blue's going to try and get above 15 population. And now Blue tries, and there you hear the little house noise. And there is now the house. And a couple houses now for Blue. So still trying to get down the timings and the plans. Alrighty. I'm just looking back at chat and seeing people ask me about the colors. Those are a really big deal for you guys, apparently. Yeah, so Doran, the Goth bonus I just mentioned wasn't originally a bonus for them back in the day. But these days, Loom isn't free. It's just the research is instant. So when you click the Loom upgrade, it just completes immediately. And there were a couple balance changes with Goths over the last couple of years with the Definitive Edition. There was one where they started with Loom, and they also had the 100 gold, right? The devs reverted that. They also did a ridiculous thing, which I still can't believe they ended up doing, but where they made Goth infantry cheaper in Dark Age. And it was so cheap that at a high level, we'd see like 30, 40, 50 militia made, which was just insane. And the reason that sits like so close to the front of my brain is because they did that right before one of my tournaments, and I was pissed. I was like, come on. So we had to do like this. We basically banned Goths from the whole tournament because they just turned it into a cheese fest with that civ. And all the players were complaining about how they didn't want that civ to be played. So it was a big ordeal back in the day, back in, what was it, March of 2020. So they've been trying to implement some different things with the Goths here. There is kind of my point. Okay, so right there, you just saw Loom was researched instantly. And I was wondering what Blue was going to do in Feudal. Blue went up to Feudal Age really quick here. And Blue's just going for the farm upgrade and the wood upgrade. Blue's only got 15 vills. So, no signs whatsoever that we're really going to see much in the Feudal Age in terms of aggression. Red has actually made a militia. And Red hasn't clicked up to the next age yet. Red was also really unfortunate not to find those goats there. I can tell just from the way you're talking that it still hits a nerve. Oh, yeah. It was a rough time for me, man. It definitely still hits a nerve. But things have progressed a lot since then. You know, so if I have an important event happening, I'm in communication with them. I think we've all kind of learned. I don't have a say in everything, of course, but I have an idea, so there's no big surprises before important events, so. This is the thing about players at 700 elo. You don't know what to expect. But I wonder if oh man, look at this. I wonder if Blue is going to somehow defend from this. So Blue's scout just happened to find the militia here. And also has happened to find the goats. It might get away with one of them. But this is not a bad opening from Red against the Goths. Going for man-at-arms. You want to be aggressive. And sometimes the Goths will go for their own man-at-arms. So you want to have the infantry prepared. I really like the build-up here from Red. Blue, I'm going to say something. Oh my god, he wants those goats so badly. I'm going to say something that might be a little rude here, but I think Blue has maybe picked the Goths as a low confidence pick. I see this a lot at lower elo where players are just like, I don't think I can take advantage of that bonus or this bonus. And I oftentimes feel like I'm getting outplayed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the Goths. And I hope that my ability to just make tons of infantry in important moments is enough, you know? That's like kind of the vibe I'm getting from Blue. But then again, like, I actually going to backtrack on that statement because, you know, he's bringing a villager forward. He's got nice little house wall here. So I imagine we're going to see infantry there. I have no clue what his plan is with this ville yet. But maybe we're going to see like defensive barracks and then forward barracks at the same time. That could be crazy. And I thought Red was going to be the aggressor. But Red has not gone forward with this army. Red is kind of protecting the base. So Red is fearful at the moment. And it is a forward barracks from Blue. One of the most satisfying names we've had in this channel in a minute. Okay. Red's trying to do a lot right now. He's also trying to go for scouts. So Edu's now going to make some houses. We have more house walls here from Blue. And some eventual palisade walls. And we have no army production yet, but we have 2 more villagers coming forward to join the forward barracks. Now, Town Watch gives your buildings more vision. It's not quite enough vision for Red to be able to see what's happening here. And as I expected, we have the man-at-arms upgrade, and then we have militia queued in this barracks. And we're going to see a tower as well? Holy cow. Okay. Let's see how long it takes for Red to react to this. Red is also making defensive towers. There's a tower there. Where's the stone mining? Oh, right there. Okay. Oh, this is going to get so messy. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Red's going to notice this and freak out. Red didn't know that there was going to be man-at-arms here. So Blue should kill all these villagers. As long as Red continues to go forward. Red, go into Blue's base with the scouts. Don't freak out that much. Red's forgotten about the man-at-arms. Uh-oh. Just gonna say, like, if red goes into blue's base, blue has no defense. But blue's offense is enough defense here to distract red. And sometimes the panic of the situation makes you change your game plan, and that's precisely what has happened here for red. Oh, man, you could tell there was some level of paranoia being up against the Goths. Now all your scouts go down to the tower and the man-at-arms. These units are actually going forward. Okay. I think it would have made a little bit more sense to use the slow units at home and use the scouts forward because they were already on the way. But, man, blues must have some experience here. Oh, my God. Here come the man-at-arms, guys. Here come the man-at-arms. Quick! This is going to be epic. The scout laid down his life so his friends could get through here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let's go, Edu. Let's go. Yeah, how do you like it? I want to see Edu come forward and build a tower here now. No. Town center's there. Be careful, Red. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Please be careful. Please go back. This is why you make 6 of them instead of 3. Red. Red's distracted. Red's very distracted. Blue's... Oh, okay. Well, town centers are dangerous for both sides. And... All right. Woo! Stressful game, man. Holy crap. We just watched a couple players play on Xbox, and that was so chill compared to this. This is some true Age of Empires 2 for you. And I guess after all of that has happened, I would prefer Blue's position. I think that Blue is almost completely walled, so counterattacks might not be too possible. And Blue also has denied the opponent's gold and has a nice little army composition here as well. Now, this, of course, means that Blue has to make sure that the walls are actually completed. There's a hole here. You also need to make sure you get house walls here. Here's an overchop. There's just a lot of different ways that Red could find value right now. But, it seems like Red is just going to be focusing on trying to clear up this position. And Red's going to drop a tower there, too. So we've got lots of defensive towers here from Red in this game. Suggestion for new Goth bonus? Oh, boy. All right, let's see what you had to say. A lot of people want to give Goths new bonuses, and I'm telling you, it's a slippery slope, man. I think Goths are at a good spot. I wouldn't be a fan of buffing Goths or giving Goths anything new unless you nerf Perfusion in late game. And if you know Goths and you know Perfusion, I feel like that's a big part of their identity. But okay, let's see what you have to say. Every time they complete a building, they get 10 stone. Like houses? Farms? Yeah, that's actually a crazy bonus. This flexible bonus can be used for a quicker castle, supporting a tower rush, or as a straight-up eco bonus via the market. If too strong, make it 5 stone. Well, again, it's an interesting idea. I'm not going to say the idea is not unique. But I think that if you were giving the Goths any type of eco bonus or early game bonus, you have to change their late game. And when I think Goths, it's like, it's one of those civs that has such a unique identity that anyone coming back to the game is going to remember. And I don't think their late game should be changed. When the game's been around this long, I think certain things should maybe stay the same. I'm kind of happy with Gothsar personally. But the idea itself is unique. So, Red has made 3 towers around his own gold. Still isn't in range of the villagers. Which is really sad. Red is so focused on trying to handle all this. Is luring Blue back to the tower fire, though. And might be able to kill Blue's units here. There are a lot of spearmen, though, so most of the scouts will probably die. But let's see. Okay. Okay, Blue's going to lose some army here. Do we have fletching on the way? No fletching. Maybe with fletching, these villagers could be hit. But lack of fletching is certainly an issue. And then at home, Blue is just making sure that everything's safe. There is still a hole here, but I really like Blue's approach, guys. Little forward attack into walls at home, and then you obviously want to get to like Castle Age and into a castle, right? Red is just staring at this screen like, oh my goodness. I can see it, Why can't I kill those villagers? They're stealing all my gold. Has produced a lot of military this game. Red has 5 towers. He could have gone for a castle, but why go that far? Well, he can't go for a castle in feudal. He doesn't have the resources to go castle. In his mind, he's very worried about what's going to come out of that barracks, and he very much wanted to kill those villagers there. But he doesn't have he doesn't have a good grasp on how much range towers have. And so he's been 1 tile off here and a couple tiles off over here. And we've got archer armor coming in, so he's gone for attack, and he's gone for forging, which is attack on melee, and he's gone for infantry armor. He's going for archer armor now as well. None of this really helps this situation. And blue's going to head to stone, guys. But blue's not sending a lot of villagers to stone. So blue... Oh, wait a second. What? What are these villagers doing over here? Red might be able to take this tower out. Red is making another tower. He's tower rushing himself, bro. It's just the towers are just... I'm not trying to make fun of you, Red. It's just, there's so many towers. And they're not hitting the gold. Okay. I still don't know where these villagers are going for blue. They were over here. They didn't take any stone. I was thinking maybe they're going to take stone over there. Where are you going, blue? And blue has produced enough man-at-arms to make sure that the villagers in the tower stays alive there. I wonder if red believes that skirmishers are better against man-at-arms than archers are. Because I've said this a million times, but as a noob, I used to think that skirmishers would be better than archers because they're throwing bigger sticks. What would you rather get hit with? An archer bolt or an arrow, or like a massive pointy stick from a skirmisher? I would rather get hit with an arrow, personally. But that's not the way the game works. As you can see, skirm's doing very little damage here. Blue, what is your plan? Blue is in the next stage. So maybe a town center? Blue has wandered a very long distance for this. But we've got man-at-arms. Squires is on the way, and then longsword. So these units are going to be even stronger. And we'll also see a siege workshop. And, you know, red has made so many defensive towers and still doesn't have the resources to go up to the next stage. It is going to be a new TC for blue, and also a monastery there. Okay. Arrow has more velocity. Yeah, maybe that's it. Seriously though, if you get hit in the chest with one of these bad boys, you're not lasting. I don't even think with this cheap little armor you're lasting. In Age of Empires 2, you will though. You get wounded, but the condition doesn't get any worse for you, you know? You just sit there with a hole in your chest, and as long as there's not an even bigger hole in your chest, you're alive. So I guess blue just wants to have a safe area for economy. And again, just dream scenario right now for blue. Red hasn't been able to take this gold. Red hasn't been able to kill these villagers. This is red's vision, guys. This is red's point of view. Red has his own... How do I describe this? He has a base within his own base surrounded. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like this before. Red will make it to Castle Age soon. And you know what I haven't had enabled is the market events. I'm sorry for that. I could tell Red was using it. I had that off because in community games, it's annoying to see 8 different players use the market. But all right. Romans used javelin throwers instead of archers for this very reason, because it's devastating on shorter range. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're not going to be able to throw a javelin as far as you're able to shoot an arrow. So we know blue will have the economy lead. Blue's had a consistently greater economy for some time. Blue's thinking about pushing these towers back, and that's not going to happen. Now, I'm really curious on if red's ever going to get fletching, and I'm also curious where red is going to make this castle in the next stage. And I'm hoping red can stay alive in this game. It's just... it's looking bleak. I could see blue being a little distracted with other things, though. And keep in mind that both players have quite a few infantry upgrades. One player with longsword should win the battle, and will win the battle now. And now the rams come out, and this time that ram might end up taking out the tower. Hey, fletching came in. Let's go. Suddenly the towers are all ranging something. Woo! Hype! I'll tell you what red needs to do. And it's not... Oh, God. It's not ring the town bell. Oh, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Look at all the villagers garrisoning that don't even need to be saved. Oh, it brings me so much pain. I hate seeing people click the town bell. Well, I hope he clears this up fast so he can send his villagers back to work, because he's at the limit with resources because his economy isn't working. And town bell hurts even worse when you have so many towers, because that's just another building that your villagers will hop into. Ram goes down. That's good. Scout here is going to go attack the mangonel, and we'll take out the mangonel with the help of the tower. And then the TC is going to kill the longsword. And now unring it. Unring the bell. Unring it. Unring the bell. Send the villagers back to work, please. You just cost 2 hours of idle time. Yes, Edu. If your art is for sale, I will buy your art for unringing that bell. Thank you. Whew. Okay, I'll tell you what you do in this situation, though. Someone's, like, forcing you to react all the time. Obviously, a defensive castle would be nice. But you're behind. Just get some army and YOLO a forward castle in your opponent's base. Just try it. We have Imp on the way for Blue Baloo. Sheesh. Imp. Okay. And he's grabbing relics as well. He's got a monastery at home, and then he's got a monastery at his vacation home. So he's got 2 different locations for the monasteries, and it looks like the vacation monks are sending the relics to the main base. These 2 villagers have lived a crazy life. They have been surrounded by so much nonsense for so long, and yet they are still alive here. Dang. And it's a villager lead for the Goths. Goths don't have a castle yet, but I'm sure they will soon. We don't see any knights for Edu. He's just focusing on crossbows. Now, Red, if you ever rewatch this, I'm just going to give you some tips here, okay? If you're going for archers or towers or anything ranged, you want to get the ranged attack first. So fletching and then bodcanero before any of the defense. In general, okay? There are some situations where you might want armor first. That's rare. So you want for ranged units, you want the attack first. For melee units like swordsmen or knights, you want the defense first. Because the melee units already have high attack and they have little armor. And then the ranged ranged units have lower attack and lower range, so you want to make the most out of it. I guess it's not completely accurate to say they have lower range, but just even if you don't believe me on any of the reasonings I just gave you, just do it. All right, life's going to be easier for you. Your towers might have been able to range stuff. The armor you've gotten there on your crossbowmen, that's not going to make that big of an impact compared to bodcanero. And so we'd said it about the Goths and how people fear the Goths and can be frustrated by the Goths. And my thought process was maybe make things chaotic early so you can get to the later stages. That's precisely what we saw here from Blue. And Blue still not really pushing. Blue will bring in relic number 3, though. And Blue is still an age up. And those 2 villagers remain somehow. And we are going to see longswordsmen, and we're going to see knights here now as well from Red, who must be so frustrated. Blue's micro has been really good, though. And there we go. Now Red's going to drop a castle here. Red's just so sick of this. Just so unbelievably sick of this crap. Do you think Blue's just having fun now? Yeah, I think Blue has been having fun for a while. But I don't think it has reached the point where Blue believes this game is... What the? Blue! No, don't drop the castle there. You don't need to. You don't need to. Okay, repair the ram first. All right. So, maybe Blue doesn't think the game is over. Blue is bringing villagers from here to try and drop this castle. Guys, this could be a disaster for Blue. All you need to do when you're Goths is you get a castle up at home, make a bunch of barracks, and get ready to spam infantry to win the game. I don't think you need to go for a YOLO castle in this position. But blue wants to do it, and here come the villagers running right through the towers. Oh, God. Okay, I think blue has canceled the idea, but forgot about the villagers. Okay, so now the villagers are like, actually, let's leave this place. Knowing Blue's gonna... Yeah, okay. That's what I expected. Just drop it right there. Why not? Hope that red didn't see you, and that red doesn't immediately send the army over. And actually, I think red is so fixated on this that red doesn't have any clue. Which is kind of amazing. Blue just casually ran underneath 2 towers and is now going to drop the castle here. And red's just like, oh, finally. Finally, I'm dealing with this. By the way, blue will save these villagers as well. So those 2 villagers live to see another day. And yeah, this is just a painful situation now. Castle fire from the opponent will kill a bunch of your villagers. We immediately have anarchy, so Huskarls can be created from the barracks. That's before we could talk about perfusion, which makes the units spam instantly out of the barracks. Red did react after seeing the villagers going down. But what I expected initially was a lot of barracks to be up, and that's what's happening now. It's at a stage of the game where if you make knights, they make pikemen. If you make archers, they make huskarls. And if you make champions, they can make champions faster than you can. Goth spam for you. Goth spam is sizzling. I've got the goth jokes in the past. Never got the spam joke. That's funny. Did you guys ever have spam growing up? That was a big thing in my household. Some good old spam. It was one of like three meals my dad would make for our family. Sorry, I'm just taking the time to sip my drink here. So blue will have halbs around the base at home. And it doesn't actually have a lot of gold income to be able to make huskarls, but it's going for the wood upgrade and the farmer upgrade. Dang. Spam in a can is best. Okay. Never tried it until I was 25. My family hates spam. Only have two in my home. Okay. Spam and corned beef while camping. Yeah, spam is great for camping. Because it gives you a lot of calories and it's very easy. And credit to Red. No offense, chat, but I feel like the majority of you guys would have resigned already. This has been a very stressful situation. So many people would have just said, oh, I'm done. You know, let's go watch a T90 video because this game is really hard to play. I convinced myself to play it and then I get so frustrated, you know. But Red's going to try. Now let's see if he could take out the castle. What he doesn't know is that there's this many barracks behind. But he has loaded up the rams. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Blue's got too much production. And blue is ready. Blue's already up to 24 halbs right now. If you have never had spam, I don't want to say that you're really missing out, by the way. It is not as satisfying as goth spam. But it is like, you know, high calories and gets the job done if you're camping, right? Or if you're my dad and you didn't really know what to make and you just wanted something easy for us as kids. So. Halbs are going to chew up the knights, as we probably all expected. Huskarls are actually going to be pretty fine against the longswords. There's not a big stat difference between Castle Age longswords and Castle Age Huskarls. Not to mention the cost, of course, for the Goths. And Red continues to stare at the screen, refusing to quit, getting annoyed at the Goths, cursing the Goths, maybe thinking of a Reddit thread that he could make on nerfing the Goths. Red, if he rewatches this, is going to freak out when that one person suggested giving the Goths stone for every building they made. As this civilization does not need a buff, he's thinking. But Red's still staring at the screen, still thinking, I can do this, and I'm going to make knights and longswords and still hope for the best. And there it is. That's the upgrade. If you want to see a player go from 80 pop to 180 pop in like 2 minutes, we're about to see it. Assuming blue has the resources, blue will be able to do that. And blue will definitely have the resources for Halbs. Not for Huskarls, but... There's just not a lot of gold income right now for blue. Can Scorpions save red? Scorpions are helpful, but Scorpions won't help you come back when you're 30 villagers down. And an age down, right? So normally you want Scorpions in a combination with other things. So you have like 4 or 5 Scorpions with some longswords or knights in front. The Scorpions are sending those shots through multiple units, weakening them all. Then the other units are protecting the Scorpions and finishing the job. All right, I'm waiting for it. Perfusion is finished. I'm waiting for blue to just queue up units out of these barracks. Blue seems to be enjoying life right now. Has 3 relics. Maybe is looking for more resources. Yep, seems to be doing that. There's not a lot of pressure on blue. All the pressure's on red. Now, red, last time you tried to rush down that castle with 2 rams, my advice is always go with 5 minimum if you're in Castle Age. But hopefully you should know that you need to have more than 2 because it didn't work. It wasn't even close to working the last time. Want salt and meat form? That's spam. Yeah, and that's also Goths. For some people. There was a high-level player who always used to play Goths. His name was Nightstyle. He was around 2100 elo, and he would force-pick Goths all the time. He ended up stopping with force-picking Goths and would just go random civ, and he actually ended up getting a bit higher elo. Ooh, red. Looking to raid here. Okay. Well, red is walling because red wants to be protected from raids on the other side. Red figures I can keep an eye on this and protect the other side. I think the logic's pretty sound. From the way blue's playing this, red doesn't feel like he's as far behind as he is, maybe, because blue is not killing him. It doesn't seem like blue really wants to make army at the moment. And maybe there's a chance for red to push this castle down then. We'll see. Monk is going for the relic. Red does not notice that. Red's going to try and go imp here, I believe. I do that in games, picking what is considered the worst and getting good at it. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. It was really, really frustrating for me to play with because, like, he was good enough where, you know, he gets ahead early and then he gets a nice little economic lead on me and then he starts to spam the infantry. It's tricky. He definitely played them very well. He made knights, he made crossbowmen, anything he needed to in the mid game, and then he would go for infantry later. Guys, we have seen crazier comebacks. But we also would have to classify this one as a massive throw. If blue were to lose this game. Come on, blue. Make your gameplay as awesome as your name is right now. Choo-choo! Here come the Rams. Nice job from red, by the way. Props to you for not giving up. Giving yourself a chance. But the second that blue sees the attack signals, or hears the attack signals, I guess, these barracks should have Huskarls. And they're going to be elite Huskarls as well. Fully upgraded. Castle's starting to go down. What do? You set the rally point there, and then all the infantry hops out. You might still lose the castle, but you're going to clear up everything pretty quickly. And that's the beauty of Perfusion. Castle, knowing how red's day is gone, the castle's going to stay up. Nope, castle goes down. There we go. There's hope. But now you've just awoken the beast. He went from 0 Huskarls to 25. So, that's a little bit painful. We're also going to have some halbs as well. Why not? Sprinkle it in. Red hoping to clear up the castle and then win a big fight. And instead, red's just going to lose everything here. And blue, not really interested in letting the Huskarls fight the knights. I think it's fine to do that. But he was thinking that he wanted the Huskarls to be against the skirms, right? Which on paper is what you want to do for sure. And now blue's going to go for bombard cannons, and I think blue's just kind of been waiting for the siege, which is why blue's been chilling so much. Red is now clicking up to imp. And I gotta say, Red, you continue to surprise me with how stubborn you are and how much belief you have in yourself here. Because this has not looked good, and it's not getting any better for you. There was no reason Red wasn't an imp beyond maybe just being distracted. To be fair to Red, while his resources were looking pretty high right before he clicked up, it took him a while to get there. He produced a lot of military in this game that he ended up losing, so. Blue got a big economy lead earlier on in this game, and has just kind of just held that. Has never been up against any real threats or attacks. And here come bomber cannons now to push down these fortifications. And then, again, we could have, more halves already. All the time. So, maybe not the best game to, as an example, because I think blue had outplayed red at various points in this game. But when you look at Goths and what they're capable of at this stage of the game, that's why I think I'd be very hesitant to ever give them a better early game. They still have really good win rates at low elos. Mid elos, they are picked at times, and even high elo, they are picked at times in tournaments, depending on certain aspects of maps. But how insane they are once they get both their unique techs from their castles is just insane. And again, the crazy thing is they could probably counter every civ. I had a game, and I'm not exaggerating here. I was against a player who was around my rank, so 2300. I was Goths. They were Ethiopians. They had 4 castles making elite hotels. They had 450 more kills than me by the time the game ended. And they had 5 relics. And I beat them with champion spam. Because the champions are so cheap, and because it produced faster than even Showtail warriors from 4 castles. And, there could maybe be some other examples as well. So, Goths can be insane, man. If they get to their late game composition. So I think people should be really resistant on giving in any buffs. Edu here gives the GG. Gotta love it. And finally realized here that it wasn't going to be his day. And I think Edu just got way too psyched out by the initial attack. I'm going to tell you, though, if Edu is frustrated and unsure on what to do, and is maybe thinking the towers were the problem, I'm going to show you what I think could have happened a little bit differently here for Edu. So, now this is common, okay? The reaction here from Red is very common, which is why sometimes the best form of defense is offense. But as it stands, Red has more army than Blue, and Red is thinking, oh my goodness, let's go kill this guy, right? Let's stop the Goths. As it stands, Red's in the better position in this game. Watch this. So he's going forward. He's waiting to go forward with his armies. And in this moment, he notices the tower, okay? Now, you've got 11 army on the field. You've got 6 men-at-arms. You've got 5 scouts, okay? You're heading forward to do damage. If Red continues to run forward with the scouts here, instead of coming home, he kills 3 or 4 villagers, and it's completely fine. Instead, Red freaks out because of that, doesn't continue to go forward, and then forgot in that moment about the man-at-arms. And so this gave Blue time to mass enough army here, got the tower up, and then it's just Red reacting to Blue constantly. So that was the moment of the game, I think, where things started to get really sour for Red. Obviously, then Red panicked and made a couple towers around, and there's some things we could talk about. But if you're running forward to commit to an attack against somebody, continue to do that, because they're likely not going to have anything at home in that moment. You turning everything around and bringing everything to that attack in your base is just going to mean that they have time to wall up and play defensive. But easier said than done. And then, to be fair to him, immediately after this, both players went in with man-at-arms. And both players ran into TCs. This was just crazy panic from both. Red was distracted looking at his base. Blue was distracted looking at his base. They probably both had a moment where they're like, what's the other guy doing? Why is he running into the TC fire? So, but you know what? I'm also going to say, Edu, if you can avoid ringing the town bell, please do it. That didn't help you here either. I made a video on it. It's called the 6 TC tips. It's on my YouTube channel. I don't know if that'll do anything for you, but because some people ring the town bell knowing it's not ideal, and they do it because it's just easy for them. But if you have any interest in improving slightly, definitely watch that video. Okay. Yeah, we knew blue was going to win that game for a long time there. Collected 57,000 resources. Only 35,000 there for Edu. GG, GG, GG.